Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head to Greece once again, and this is yet another of the beers that I brought back with me from my recent trip over there. So for this one we're going to go to Athens, the capital city, and we're going to review a beer from the only microbrewery in the city centre. So this is going to be my first review from the Noctua Brewery. This beer is called Head Twister. It comes in at 5.2% ABV and it's an American style pale ale. So I think I did actually try this beer in the Lazy Bulldog pub, which is just a few hundred metres from the brewery actually, and it was quite an interesting one. It's quite an easygoing session beer from what I remember, but their black IPA that they do, I was with my friend George and my friend Yorgos as well, and they tried the black IPA and seemed to really enjoy it. So definitely looking forward to having this one for you on the channel and thinking a little bit more about it, and as always I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. You seem to be quite enjoying the Greek beers that I'm reviewing for you, so hopefully there can be more reviews once I finally exhaust my supply that I brought back. But as always, I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery, so if you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that hopefully I can do in the future from the Noctua Brewery. Very first time I'm reviewing one of their beers, of course. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, prefecture, county, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Greek beers that I've reviewed for you. That's being added to over the next little while, of course. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about the Noctua Brewery then. So as I've mentioned to you before, the Noctua Brewery are based in the centre of Athens. They're actually just a few hundred metres away from the Lazy Bulldog pub, which is one of the best craft beer pubs in the city actually. So the company was founded back in 2016 by 4 friends. So this is Kras Vasiliadis. I do apologise if any of these names are pronounced wrong. There's also Dimitris Yiannopoulos, Orpheus Demopoulos, and also Jason Panagiotopoulos as well. So 4 friends. They apparently all came from various different backgrounds, including finance, economics, journalism, and also the food industry as well. But they'd started tasting different craft beers from around the world, and then they began homebrewing together, and just really, as many folk do, became obsessed with the craft of it. But they say they want to get as many people involved in the craft beer scene as they can through making a lot of different beers. But the brewery itself is named after the Noctua night owl, which can be found in Athens, hence why their symbol, of course, is that little owl there. But apparently it's one of the official symbols of the city, and it's also a symbol for wisdom as well. But so far they've produced 4 different beers. They've got the Twister Pale Ale, which is this guy here, the Night Vision Black IPA, which I tried at the Lazy Bulldog, and that was a really nice beer. I do wish I got a bottle of that as well to review for you. They also have the Chilling Season Amber Ale, which I think I tried, or either that or I tried the Flaros Amber beer that they did recently, and they've also got the first anniversary IPA. But these ones, I think the main ones that you can get in bottle are the Head Twister and the Night Vision. So if you do see these 2 beers, have a go at them and see what you think. I have to admit I really liked the black IPA when I tried it on tap, and I do wish that I'd got that, because I never brought back a black IPA from Greece, so I think that's one that I'll definitely need to look to in the future. But yeah, an interesting brewery this one. It's always cool to see that the craft beer scene is kind of spreading, and these guys, you know, they do some quite nice sessionable beers. I do quite like the approach that they take, but the only microbrewery in the city centre of Athens. But that's all you need to know about them just now. Let's actually get on to the tasting of this beer itself. So it says on the side here, the hops in this beer are Nugget, Challenger, Citron, Chinook. So it should give you a nice little bit of fruitiness in there, but also some nice kind of floral aromaticity, kind of piney resin. Nice artwork on this one, I have to say. All of the artwork on the bottled beers, incidentally, is very similar. It's just different colours. The Night Vision, I'm sure, is sort of black and white, if I'm remembering correctly from the label, but 35 IBUs apparently. It did win an award here. It says it won the gold in the beer challenge. The bottle cap on this is quite cool as well with the owl eyes. But yeah, nicely presented beer, this one. I do like the artwork on this, and of course the added bonus is that it's a ½ litre as well, so they are using the German measurements. So well done to Noctua Brewery for that. You always want a little bit more beer. But let's get it out and we'll get on with the tasting then. So yeah, nice bit of smoky opening there. So let's get it out and into the glass. And I'll tell you something, you can smell a little bit of the citrusy fruit coming off this beer as you open it up. But look at that. It's actually clearer than I remember it being as well. I remember this beer being a little bit hazy. It actually just looks, you know, like a lager beer or something. Look at that. Nice pale golden straw colour. If I stick my fingers behind the glass, you can see there is a good bit of transparency to the beer. There's a solid finger and a little bit of a frothy white head. Some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass and a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of that head there. But yeah, it looks kind of, yeah, it looks more like a lager, I would say, than a pale ale, to be honest, but then there are some kind of clear pale ales going around these days. So yeah, let's take a little closer look at the aroma then and just see how we get on. Yeah, so for this one, you've got a nice little bit of a kind of bready malt base to it. There's a little bit of a kind of caramelly biscuit note in there. I would say it leans more towards the kind of biscuity side of things. It does remind me a little bit of the McVitie's Digestive. It does remind me of that. When you sugar it up a little bit more, the breadiness starts to come out a little bit. But there's a good wee bit of hoppiness in there as well. There's a nice kind of grassy note to the beer. There's a wee touch of grapefruit and maybe a little bit of the mango from the Citra as well. There's maybe a wee kind of touch of ready fruit or something like that in there as well. There's maybe a little bit of a candied red fruit, which is quite interesting. But yeah, nice little bit of grassiness there, good little bit of floral aromaticity as well. I'm not getting much in the way of pine resin. Normally you'd get a good chunk of pine resin from the Chinook hop. That always gives you that dark grapefruit and big pine resiny flavour. But for me, this one, it leans a little bit more towards the malty side of things, to be honest. The malts are coming out of the aroma nicely with this beer. It's got a really nice biscuity and bready quality to it and a little bit of a richer caramel, but the hops are definitely nice in it as well. So yeah, just take a little bit of time, as I always say, and enjoy the aroma before you get stuck into the beer. But this one smells, you know, it's quite nice, it's quite fresh, and from what I remember, this is a beer that really is just a kind of easygoing, kind of sessionable beer. So let's have a taste of this one then. So this one is the Head Twister from the Noctua Brewery in Athens in Greece. Let's get stuck in. Slanget Skull Yamas. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it is kind of just how I remember it. It's a really nice, easy-going, sessionable beer. It's you know, to be honest, this is the sort of beer you want to drink in Greece when it's really hot and it's a nice kind of summer day. That's exactly what you want. Yeah. It's just so easy going, but it has everything you would want. You know, there's a nice little bit of malt base to this. The malts in this, I do suspect the malt base is German, just by the flavour of it. I think they've put a nice German malt base in this. You can feel that nice bready character just blanket the middle of the tongue. On top of that, you've got a little bit of the kind of graininess pushing its way out. As you go further and further into the flavour of this beer, a little bit of the grainy quality starts to push its way out of the beer. But yeah, this is one of these beers where it's all about how the flavours kind of blend together, to be honest. It's all about how these things kind of interact with each other. And it does have a nice blend. Everything just goes together quite well in this one. When your mouth kind of adjusts to the beer a little bit more, you start to get more of the kind of sweeter, biscuity and caramel notes in the middle of your palate, which is nice. In the back corners of the palate, there's a little touch of earthiness in there. You can feel there's a little bit of a herbal quality to the beer as well. Then as you start to come further forward along the sides of your tongue, there's a little bit of a slightly spicy, piney resin in there. Then round the very front curve of the palate, it's just a little bit lighter and grassy. But yeah, it's just nice. It's a nice, light, refreshing beer, this, and you know, and when you're in there in the summer and it gets really roasty toasty, that's exactly what you want. It's just a really nice kind of easy going one. I do remember it being a little bit sweeter when I tried it at the Lazy Bulldog. It did have a little bit of a sweeter kind of quality to it, but it was just nice and easy going. Behind the front curve of the palate, of course, that's where you get that little oily bubble where the fruity qualities start to come out of the beer. And for me, this one has a little bit of grapefruit just kind of underpinning it, and that'll be from the Chinook, of course. Yeah, so just behind the front curve of the palate, It's got that little oily bubble, like I'm saying. There's a bit of grapefruit underpinning it. As you get further into the flavour, a little bit of the mango starts to come out. And in fairness, on the end of the beer, you do get a little bit of an almost gooseberry flavour coming out of it. Not lychee in this one, as you can sometimes get from the Citra. But I think there's a little bit of a gooseberry flavour coming out of this beer, which really suits it, and it is pretty nice, I have to say. In terms of the mouthfeel then, I would say this beer, fairly light bodied actually, but it's at the higher end of light bodied. The carbonation does have a good bit of crispness to it. As I say, that suits the Greek beers because you've got a really high temperature over there, of course, so good little bit of crisp carbonation. The mouthfeel is a little bit oily, which again suits it. It's a little bit of an oily crisp kind of thing that's going on with this. So nice little bit of hoppy bitterness in there, like I was saying. The IBUs, they're not going to blow your head off. I mean, 35 IBUs, it's about the same in a way as Pilsner Urquell in that way. It's about the same level of bitterness that you would get from Pilsner Urquell. Nice little bit of juicy fruity character as well, and the malt base of this one's quite nice. There's a little bit of graininess to the malt base that comes out as you go further into the flavour, but it does have a little bit of sweetness to it. But overall, it's a really nice, just easy-going session beer. Of course, it's not the same as some of the IPAs and things like that I've had from the other breweries, but I think the whole idea of this one is just to be nice, easygoing and sessionable, and I got that impression from the black IPA as well. The black IPA was nice. It had a little bit more of a juicy, fruity quality to it, and the malt base was really quite smooth as well. But I did enjoy the black IPA, the Night Vision, when I had a taste of it, but this one, as I say, if you want a nice easygoing session beer, then this could be good. If you do fancy just a Pils or a lager or something like that, this beer isn't too, as a pale ale, it's not too far away from the Pils. This one does have a little bit of that almost Pilsner Pilsen kind of quality to it, which is nice, and it works for it. It's just a really easygoing summery session beer, this. So if that's your kind of thing, then I'm pretty sure you will enjoy this one. But it's a nicely crafted beer, and I've enjoyed kind of thinking about this one a little bit more on the channel for you. So as always, thank you for watching my beer reviews. We'll leave it at that for just now. A really just nice, easygoing session beer, this one. It's got that nice, well brewed, it's got that kind of almost German quality to it actually. It's just got that nice kind of German, well brewed beer sort of stamp to this one. So thumbs up to the Noctua Brewery for this one. I do hope that I can review their black IPA at some point, but I'll probably need to go back to Greece to get a bottle of that. But the Head Twister is a nice, easygoing pale ale, so you know, have a go at it and see what you think for yourself. But once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comments section below. Let me know your favourite beers from the Noctua Brewery as well. And do, of course, get in touch and let me know some other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. But I definitely, pardon me, recommend this one to fans of German beers like German Helles and Pils and things like that. It really fits into that kind of, it's really on the border between a pale ale and a sort of Pilsner beer, this, but they've done a nice job of it, and I do look forward to trying more beers from this brewery. So once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews, and I will catch you guys very soon. The Head Twister Pale Ale at 5.2% from the Noctua Brewery, the only microbrewery in the city centre of Athens. Until the next time, it's Slanger just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Yamas.